like at the end of HR interview, I was very sure that my name should come.
So what are some companies in which you reject?
Yes, I was rejected by many companies. Like it was Oracle. Actually, the interview was familiar with the C language rather than the C++ language. So she was asking me very deep questions of the C language, like which I was not very comfortable with, to be honest.
Still giving some hints to it.
Yeah, little, because like when I was stuck somewhere, so she guided me that no, can you think it like that? Like I have to explain to the interview like a child, that he doesn't know anything. You have to explain from basics. This is A, this is B, this is C. If I'll explain in that way, maybe the interviewer will know that I am having a good foundation. Electrical branch is a very flexible branch. Like it will give you opportunity for both the sides. Like you can explore in your first year and 1.5 year. You can explore whether you want to go to the core side or whether you want to go to the software, like IT side.
So hi guys, today we have Aditi with us, which is a final year student of electrical branch. And she has cracked today a Fastenal placement drive, which is offering a CTC of around 12 LPA. So today we'll discuss the complete Fastenal process, like how many rounds was there and what kind of question was asked. Also, she tells the complete placement experience, like how to prepare for some good product-based companies, right? So we'll ask some questions to her. First of all, how you feel like when you heard that you are finally get shortlisted and get the offer, and what was the reaction of your parents, family members, and your friends?
So I was very happy when I got to know that I got selected for the Fastenal. Like I cleared all the interviews. Actually, this Fastenal process, this was held whole process was held during examination times, the midterm examinations, and already one examination was over. The test and the interview both happened during examination times. So after giving my interviews, I was just preparing for my next examination because it was really tough. So I was preparing like complete day for my examination. And at night when I was just preparing, doing numericals and all, at that time the result came. So one of my friends, she's PR, so she came shouting from another room, Aditi, Aditi, and all. Then I was very happy at that time. I was receiving so many calls at that time from my friends and another batchmates that you got selected. So after talking to them, I called my family. So they were really happy. Actually, they slept.
Who was the most happy person?
My father was very, very, very happy. He was very happy because during this recession time, like I was daily telling him that no company is coming, nothing is happening. So he was really very, very happy. Actually, they slept, so I called them and they were not able to hear me. I said I got selected. So it was a very good experience to me.
Very nice. Yeah. So can you tell me what are the eligible branches for this drive, and was there any CGPA cutoff was there?
For this drive, all the branches were eligible. Actually, this was an inter-NIT drive that was conducted by Fastenal. So it was conducted among like 10 to 12 NITs together, and all branches were eligible, and the CGPA cutoff was like 7+. 7+ CG was the cutoff.
So like all the people who applied for the online test will give the test, or like there was some shortlisting based on resumes?
Yeah, there was some shortlisting based on like resumes and all. So like out of all the branches the students applied, the list came from their side that 24 students were allowed to give the test.
Okay, from your branch?
No, from all over college.
Okay.
24 students were allowed, and from my branch, electrical branch, 5 students were there. And after that, the test was there on 14th, and after the test, the shortlisting was like out of 24, 6 students were selected for round 1 interview, and out of 6, 3 were selected for the HR interview, and then finally 2 were selected for final.
So what is the pattern of the online test? Like it was a completely DSA based, or like a mix of DSA as well as your MCQs was there?
Yes, it was a mixture of both the things. Like DSA was asked, there were 3 questions of DSA coding questions. And there was 2 other sections. One was the technical section, which consisted of computer subjects like OOPS, SQL, DBMS, security. All these subjects were there. And another section was of aptitude. Like their aptitude level was very high. Very high aptitude questions were there in Fastenal.
So how about the duration of the test? Like how many minutes?
It was of 2 hours. Like 60 minutes for DSA part and 60 for aptitude and technical questions.
So from which DSA topics like the question was asked?
The DSA was asked basically from DP, strings, and DP on strings. Like basically they introduced a mixture of strings and all the things. Like they were like medium questions of like deep code practice. Yeah.
So do you feel any mistake you done after the test, like you realize?
I realized that I could have been able to solve more of aptitude questions, like if given some more time, because the aptitude was very hard. So I was able to solve some, and another I just
Is there
marked
any
them.
negative marking was there?
No negative marking was there. So I just took some questions the other way only.
So in DSA question you solved all questions?
Yeah, I initially in my test I solved all the DSA questions, and then I moved forward to another section.
So how many students got the sit for the interviews finally?
Finally, 6 students sat for technical interview,
Okay.
and out of which 3 were from electrical.
How many rounds were interviews there?
2 interviews were there.
Technical.
One was technical and one was HR.
So what kind of question was asked during the interview? Like it was OOPS concept, your project, or DSA oriented was there?
Yeah, in the interview, like basic questions were like initially they asked about my introduction, and then about my resume screening was done, like what are my projects and what were the previous internships that I have done. They talked about that. Afterwards, moving to the technical part, they asked me various OOPS snippets. Like the interviewer, she sent me OOPS snippets on my chat box, and I was to provide the answer of those snippets. And then the interviewer was familiar with the C language rather than the C++ language. So she was asking me very deep questions of the C language, like which I was not very comfortable with, to be honest. I practiced questions in C++.
Still giving some hints to it?
Yeah, little, because like when I was stuck somewhere, so she guided me that no, can you think it like that? So like that she asked, and then she asked me to open a C online compiler, where she asked me to write the codes, and I compiled it there.
You have run the code or like only you
No, I have to run the code.
Okay. So any question you remember?
There was a very basic question, like I have to find the sum of first n numbers, but using the goto statement, because goto statement is something you don't use generally. How you do sum is like you run a for loop and you print the sum, right? But I have to use a goto statement, which is in C language. So, and she asked me to write the coding question of quicksort. And one OOPS snippet I remember was from the throw and catch error. Like these are generally the things that students skip because nobody asked them. So the interview she was really nice. She discussed my project with me really good.
So any tactics that you played to stand out in the interview?
Yes, I played because I already searched that what are the stacks that Fastenal for this role is already working on. So I previously studied about all the stacks. Like I had not worked with them, but still I studied those. Like I listened to some YouTube videos so that if by chance they ask me any question about that, I should be able to answer that. That if they ask me that why are you applying for this particular role, so I should be able to answer that. So I learned some of the tech stacks from YouTube earlier.
Any questions that coming from previous year questions of that company?
No, because I think in every interview, like they are asking about sorting. So I revised sorting very nicely. And some basic OOPS question like difference between structure and class. And very basic questions were there. It's not so hard and fast.
Sometimes that happen, like you are stuck in some questions. So how you gain confidence after that?
I gain confidence after that is like just leave what happened. You have to focus on the another question. Like if I answered something wrong, if I'm stuck on that, so it will lead that my further answers will also be impacted upon that. So just have to forget about it.
If we don't know some question, we can directly say the interview, I am not know, or you try something on your own.
If you don't completely know, suppose you have not heard of the word, suppose you have not heard of the tech stack, so you can just say that, ma'am, sir, I'm not familiar with the tech stack that you're talking about. I'll probably learn about this really soon. I'll read about it. I'll study about it. So that is the positive way to
overcome
the, yeah.
So was there any HR round was there?
Yeah, after that, it is just after 1 hour I received the HR mail.
Okay.
But after the interview I was really tired, so I slept. And one of my other friends, he got the interview mail. So he called me that Aditi got interview. I got in HR mail. You just check your mail. So I got up from my sleep and immediately checked. And my interview was after 15 minutes. So in such a hurry, I could do nothing. I could just wear clothes and sit in front of the.
So how was HR round experience like?
HR was very, very good. The HR was really nice. He was so familiar. He was so friendly. And he basically asked me about my family background. Again, he discussed my projects and internships with me. Then he asked standard HR questions like why should we hire you, and why are you interested in Fastenal? One of my friends is already placed in Fastenal, so I asked him about the HR interview. Like in those 10 minutes, I called him, I asked him. So he told me some.
What their project they asked?
Yeah, in project he discussed about my project, like what am I doing, what am I not doing. So all that things he asked and some standard HR questions. Then one thing he was very impressed was that since I'm a part of Zine Society, so he asked me to like tell something else. So I told him that like in our college we have treasure hunts like every year. So I said him that we organize treasure hunts. So he was very impressed with that because for QA role he said that these things are very important, that you have to build up new frameworks like and all that thing. So he was very impressed with the treasure hunt part. So he said that we'll be having treasure hunts really soon. Like at the end he said, that time I was very sure that my HR went very good.
So do you feel that I was able to clear that out?
Yeah, like at the end of HR interview I was very sure that my name should come.
So what are some companies in which you reject?
Yes, I was rejected by many companies. Like it was Oracle, and
Please share the reason also, like in what was the reason?
yeah, definitely. Like in Oracle came to our campus like offline. Like, the placement drive was in campus only. So I was selected for the HR like technical 1 cleared, technical 2 cleared, and then my HR round was there. But due to shortage of time, the company had to announce the result by 8:30, and they had to leave. And I was the one left out. So they said that we cannot take your interview, and we are done with the selected people.
Any other company?
And another company was I gave interview of Moody Analytics. My technical one went really good. Like it was a SQL heavy role. So they basically asked all the questions from SQL. I was able to answer all, but I really don't know the reason that why I was not selected for the HR round. So this, and previously before placement, like I give various interviews for internships as well.
So what do you learn from all these rejections?
I learned that like every time I just found that I gave my interview really well. What was the mistake? So there are very small mistakes that you really cannot find out on your own. So there will be something that other person must have. Like suppose for example, if I got 78 marks and the person got 79 marks, so there has to be 1 mark difference. Like what is that 1 mark difference? So slowly I learned that I should be able to provide my answer in a better way, in a more expressive way. Like I have to explain to the interviewer like a child, like he doesn't know anything. You have to explain from basics. This is A, this is B, this is C. If I'll explain in that way, maybe the interviewer will know that I am having a good foundation. So this is one thing that I learned. And another thing is that I learned that whatever is the tech stack of the company, prepare it beforehand. Like there are different companies are using different tech stacks, right? Some are using C++, Java, all these things. So learn about that tech stack beforehand. Not in deep if you don't have time. Just gather some information so that you'll be able to speak something. And also about the like condition of the company, like what is their market conditions and how are they working in the how are they working these days? What difficulties are they facing, or what is the most recent thing they have launched? Some recent products they have launched. They will be
It's
asking
not all
questions.
about like we have to prepare only for placement. Like we have to know
company
about.
specific.
Okay.
Company specific questions.
So let's discuss about DSA, which is the most common. Let's discuss about doubts that students have in DSA, right? So my first question is, what is the best platform for practicing in DSA according to you?
According to me, the best platform is LeetCode for practicing. Like if you are new to DSA, you can go to GFG first, because GFG will like clear your very basics, like how to write a linked list, how to write reversing a linked list. All these basic questions will be cleared by GFG. Then you can shift to LeetCode. Like practicing on LeetCode is much better than practicing on any other platform.
So how many minimum questions you need to solve to crack some good companies? Any?
I think there are no minimum questions to crack a
Your students were asking like mostly.
Yeah, I understand that. But it is like you must have clarity of concepts. Even if you have the clarity of concepts, you will be able to deliver a good answer only if you have a good hold on yourself. Only if you have some good practice, and that practice will come. Like that confidence will come when you do so much practice, right? So I can tell my number. I have solved like more than 1200 questions, out of which like 700 plus questions are on LeetCode and other questions are on various different platforms, various different sheets of like Ashgoel, Striver, and all these things.
Which sheet is I think good?
According to me, like if any person like want to crack a good company, like on campus or off campus, Striver like take you forward channel. It is the best source like for all the things, like for everything. I give my sole name of my placement to Striver. Like totally, this person has prepared me so well for everything. His sheet, like even the recent sheet that he launched about that quick revision before interviews, that is so good. In fact, all my questions of Oracle interviews were from that sheet.
Actually, the explanation also good in the YouTube videos.
Yes, definitely. He's giving you like 4 to 5 solutions of every question, and that's really impressed. Yes.
Starting with slow approach to the
Optimal approach, yes.
So how many contacts you did during your preparation?
Till now, I have given various contests, like on Code Chef, I have given like almost every starter, every lunchtime contests on Code Chef, and Lead Code also weekly, bi-weekly, both the contests, like many contests, I don't remember the number, but I have given like various contests, especially during the summer holidays and winter holidays.
So can you define the order of DSA topics to prepare? Like
yes.
What should be order?
Yeah, first of all, the students should pick a language like in which they want to do C++ or Java, whatever language suits them. After learning completely the language, then DSA comes, like you can learn about vectors, arrays, linked list, and after linked list, strings, stack, queue, and after doing stack queue, binary tree, like trees, everything, binary tree, BST, AVL, all the trees. And then after trees, you can jump to like graph, because graph is very related to trees, so you'll remember the things. Then DP. DP in graph needs to be done really very well. Various other topics are there, like small topics which are very important. Like sliding window is there and heap is there. These questions are to be done like really nice. Other you can find easily on Cyber Standards.
So what are some important DSA topics that you find in majority of online tests in the campus?
I find DP, graphs, strings.
Can you tell the companies also?
Various companies like I have given tests to various one like Oracle, Microsoft, and this Moody, Fastenal, Avalara. All these companies have asked all these questions. Like basically everyone asks one question of DP will definitely be there in whatever you test.
Like graph?
Graph also it is there. Like BFS, DFS. One question is definitely there.
So what are some mistakes that you did during DSA preparation?
Some mistakes that I did during my DSA preparation was like suppose I have prepared one topic, like suppose I learned the playlist of one topic, for example stacks. I learned it, but I did not practice it. I moved forward and I learned queue. I did not practice it. I moved forward and I did trees. So then one day I just thought, I was bored from the videos. I went to questions. I was not able to solve a single question because I forgot what I learned in stack. So it is important that whatever you learn from any video, any channel, you practice it side by side. Then only you will remember and you will see that how much you have learned. If you will just keep on skipping, you will just keep on visiting the videos, you cannot learn from that. You have to practice side by side. So this mistake I did in my third year preparation.
Actually, how much hours practice you can do per day?
If you are a third year, if you are currently second year student or third year student, you will give good time to DSA, depending upon your availability, because class schedules are also there. So daily you can give 3 to 4 hours to DSA. It will be really helpful. And these subjects, these are very important apart from DSA and SQL. You should give time to these as well.
Students are also confused, while learning DSA, you have to do development also. Can you distinguish how much time should be given to both and how to manage both?
I understand. This is a question that everybody faces a problem with. So I think that along with DSA, development is important because development will give you projects and DSA will give you some skills that you can show off. Right. So besides doing this, you can learn, if you're interested in web development, then you can start this with HTML, CSS. If you have done only HTML, CSS, so you can make some pages landing pages of various famous websites like Zara, Starbucks, Apple. You make their landing pages because this Netflix, which will showcase that you have good knowledge, because these websites are made with really good CSS and HTML parts. So if you're able to do that, slowly you learn JavaScript, practice all these things. You can make websites by listening to songs also.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, you spend some time there. This will give you an edge over other things.
So what is the role of CGPA?
CGPA will basically decide that your cutoff. because like these days, like the session is going on, CGPAs played a very important role in for our batch. Like every shortlisting is coming on the basis of CGPA. Why? Because the teams of the companies, they are asked to cut down the range of people for which they have to keep the test as well as the interview. They're saying that keep just the scholars there, just keep the scholars. So it has become very important that maintain it above 8. If you can maintain above 8.5, it is very good. But maintain it above 8 so that you can get shortlisted more times.
So let's talk a little bit about electrical branch. So according to me, electrical branch is one of the safest branch in terms of placements, where you get opportunities from core as well as IT.
Yes.
And mostly companies allow 80% companies allow you to sit for placements.
Yes.
So can you add something about this branch that you will learn during these 4 years?
I learned that electrical branch is a very flexible branch. Like it will give you opportunity for both the sides. Like you can explore in your first year and 1.5 year. You can explore whether you want to go to the core side or whether you want to go to the software like IT side. So you can learn things accordingly, and companies will come for both the sides, core also and IT side also. So you can participate accordingly. Another thing I know that for our institute, that our department, electrical department, is very helpful to the students. Like they guide us in all the ways, for core, for projects, for IT side, everything. So much guidance is there. Like our department has supported like anything to us.
So anyone who is getting electrical should join the NITJ.
Yes, I think you should join, but you should be tough enough to compete, because managing like electrical studies with like IT studies, GSC studies is very difficult, because electrical is considered to be the toughest branch because of the numericals, problems and equations. So should go for tough mind if you want to join electrical.
So finally, congrats Aditi to achieve great milestones. Now it's just a start to get into industry.
Thank you so much for inviting me here. Thank you. It was a good time.
If channel अगर अच्छा लगे, अगर वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो क्या करना?
Like, share and subscribe.